I feel like sometimes it could be good or bad because like in a good way it kind of lets you meet new people and kind of meet friends of friends and possibly get to know them and date them. But in the same way, it could be bad just because if you're roped in with a relationship with somebody and you're always posting on social media about it, then it could be bad because it kind of makes you like roped in. And if you want to break up with them, you can't really do that because everybody will know about it because you stop posting about it. You know.
I think that social media can be very dangerous in a lot of ways. I think that if you are single, you might see pictures of happy couples and you might feel very lonely. I think that it can really hurt someone's self-esteem, and I think that it can maybe pressure you into getting into a relationship you don't actually need or you don't really want in your life. But yeah.
So I'm sort of new to the social media scene. Google Plus hasn't really made a big impact.
Yeah.
But even being on Instagram now for the past couple of months, I think it only has as big an influence as you let it. I think Snapchat, which is a social media that I don't have a ton of experience with, can certainly, I think it has the potential to have a much bigger impact than the highlight reels we see on Instagram of people's lives. I think technology as a whole has severely impacted dating. With technology, by engaging with technology, you can be anywhere in the world you want except for where you are. The moment you open your phone, you're anywhere else, but you're not present where you are. And I think engaging in a dating relationship with a technology misuse, you run the risk of, I think it can really harm a relationship. Think of if you're talking to someone and they're just kind of ignoring you. I think that's what phones have done a lot to people these days, both in just general, any sort of human interaction, but especially in a dating relationship. It's kind of hard to spend time with someone, say to go on a date with someone, whenever you feel they're not entirely present there with you. Social media in particular, I think Snapchat poses lots of risks with it, the sort of the lack of accountability that might be associated with Snapchat, the mindset behind people that, oh, it's only temporary. A temporary mindset can lead to actions which people might think have no lasting impacts, but in reality the consequences can be grave and they can be long-lasting. I think it's also a somewhat unnatural form of social interaction. I love conversation with people in person because you can see their body language, but even over the phone, because you can sort of, even if you're not seeing their reaction, you can hear their reaction, and you can respond to that. I think the majority of communication is non-verbal whenever you're talking to someone. And engaging in communicating through something like Snapchat, I think it's an unnatural form of communication that really, I think it's several steps below any sort of face-to-face communication, but I think people in our generation become so dependent on Snapchat. They get so good at Snapchatting people that it really weighs down on their ability to communicate face-to-face, which is, I think, how any truly lasting, successful relationship has to lean on most heavily of any form of communication. Instagram, I have a tougher time seeing how that might affect, or Twitter, say these things where you can share parts of your lives. I could see the potential for maybe someone sharing part of their life and they're like, oh, they didn't invite me to that, or this or that, which in a dating relationship it would be much more specific, based off of an individual interaction or a specific event that happened. But yeah, I think just technology as a whole can have a potential to stunt someone's development in their communication abilities. And I think communication is the blood of any relationship. If you can't effectively communicate how you're feeling with someone, how you feel about someone to them, and just how life is going with someone, any sort of dating relationship, kind of sharing a period of life with someone, if you can't communicate effectively in that, I think you're going to see a lot of struggling in that relationship.
All right.
I mean, I feel like social media is honestly like a challenge with teen dating, because then you just see the virtual person and like how perfect they are, kind of, because that's, I mean, obviously how you see other people too, like your friends, like you see this sort of like euphoria of their life that they want you to see, but not like really the challenges they have, or like their anxiety or depression or struggles they have. And I feel like it's definitely like an easy kind of like hole that you could like dig with social media. At one point, you know, be like, I don't know, like Snapchatting and somehow like in your bra. I don't know, like things could happen like with like it's just like not, I feel like it's better if you like talk on the phone. Like we like used to only talk like on the cell phone because like we didn't really, you know, and like, you know, like I feel like it's
Alright, so Timmy, can I hop in here? Alright, let me hop in here. So to go off of what she said, when I started dating Michaela too, like, and I'm very like, obviously anybody who knows me, I'm very old school. So, you know, when I started dating her too, I was like, look, I still don't text her, and this summer will be a year I've been dating, and I don't text, you know, like I send her a meme, you know what I'm saying? So whatever.
But I'm not a big texter either.
We never were big texters, so we didn't spend time texting each other the whole time. If I wanted to see her, I went to go see her in person, or I called her. And so really we were hearing each other's voice, we were meeting each other in person, we were friends before it, so it wasn't like we were, you know, I think a lot of couples ruin their time together because they text each other the whole time. You get together and it's like, what do you talk about?
Or
You know?
awkward.
Right. So to me, we were like, no, we saved the good, and it made it even sweeter when we were together because we had stuff to talk about. There was stuff we still wanted to know about each other, you know, and we're still doing that. And you're living life, and we didn't have Snapchat. I don't have Snapchat. She doesn't even have Instagram. I have an Instagram, but we didn't feel the need to like.
Well, I do, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, but we didn't post our 2-month anniversary. Like we didn't do all that crap,
I
you
don't
know.
even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were healthy that way. We didn't need to advertise our relationship to the whole world, you know. And we knew we cared about each other, and we wanted to grow in a relationship together. I didn't need all of Providence to know that I was caring. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it definitely in our generation. It definitely adds a different dynamic to it. All the whole social media thing, and you know, the whole Snapchat, the whole whatever. It's just like, not that it's wrong inherently in itself, but ultimately you have to know the person to be able to get into those things healthily, you know.
Well, also, like, when you're talking to someone, like, they could not be, like, I feel like emojis, too. Like, when you, like, send something, like, and you do, like, a period at the end of it, everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, she's upset or something.
Right, and a text can be taken, you know, 20 different ways, you know. So it's like being together in person. You're looking at somebody in the eyes, you're reading their body language. So it's so much more healthier, and it's the way really God intended it to be. Not that texting things is wrong. It's just you're not getting the full advantage of being with that person. So there we go.
So with social media, there's really good things about social media in the way that like you can connect with people. Like our generation is just very connective kind of generation, and so we use that to connect with people whether we know them or don't know them. So like with teen dating, that can help you still have a connection with them even if like you're away from them for a period of time. But also social media gets in the way of our lives a lot of time. It helps us, like it causes us to become complacent, or like live our lives just for social media. So social media, it's good and bad. If it's used the right way, if it's used a healthy amount, it's totally fine. But if social media becomes someone's sole purpose in life, if it becomes everything that they're doing, it's just not healthy for them even personally, and it's not healthy to be with someone who is always focused on social media. Just that kind of outlook of always caring about what people see you as online just can really hurt like someone's own view of themselves and self-worth. So social media is good in the way that it helps them stay connected, and it's just like a fun thing to use. It's great for people to use when it's used correctly in the right amount, but when it becomes overly used or just someone's sole purpose in life, it can just become very wrecking to someone's life and relationships around them, whether it's dating or not.
I think social media can cause problems maybe during teen dating because, well, before you even date someone, like you could obsess over them and then you could be stalking their profiles a lot, and then you just start to make an idealized version of them, and then you start worrying like, oh, did they like my photo, did they not, did they see my story, did they comment, and you can get really caught up in that, and so I think it can kind of be bad. But I mean, sometimes like when you're dating someone, like you want to share your photos of like what's going on in your life, but I think it can be a negative thing.
I think social media overall is like a good thing, but when it comes to dating, I think it could kind of put up like a fake facade of like who you are as a couple just to like show off to other people. I think you just have to be like cautious when using it in dating, and just how like you present yourself to other people.
Don't you want bloopers?
So, personally,
Right when the camera turns on.
Personally, I think there's a lot of people out there. Actually, I don't know how to put this. There's not necessarily people that date just, for social media, but there are a good amount of people that sometimes focus more on displaying like how the relationship looks to others online rather than focusing, on just how the relationship is. I feel like that leads to a lot of comparison with other couples when, you're just showing constantly like, here's what I'm doing with my girlfriend, here's how all this is going. I feel like it has its place in like encouraging the other person. I mean, that's just social media in general, how you want to use it. If you're using it, just to show off, or if you're using it to encourage people.
Yeah, I'd say it's like it can be good or bad, like using it to show off, or it could be literally just like using it to not show off your other half, but like also just kind of be, I don't know, celebrate the joy that they bring you, and it's not. I think people can sometimes get mad at people who post about relationships all the time, but it's like if that's a big part of your life, I think it's important to show them off, like in a good way that you show that you love them and they're worth showing off. Like not just not for other people, but it's for your other half, if you know what I mean. But it can definitely be used in the wrong way as well.